Hello, my name is Natalie Phillips. I'm a clinical nurse specialist from the UK and specialise in the management of lymphedema. I'm here today to just talk to you for a few minutes about how it does benefit clinicians and patients when we work in partnership with industry to ensure the safe use of products. Quite often, clinicians are reluctant to work with industry because of the overall assumption that industry just want to sell products and that they will do anything to ensure that their products are used. Whilst it is apparent and obvious that a company who produce and manufacture medical devices or products for use on patients need to ensure that their businesses run effectively, all companies should be working within ethical boundaries that ensure they do not suggest a product that is unsuitable for a patient. With this in mind, it is important to remember that whatever product a clinician is using, that it is used within the manufacturer's guidelines and they feel safe and competent in its use. Furthermore, that the clinician does not assume that a similar product from a different company can be used in the same way. Therefore, it is important that support from industry is obtained to ensure that safe clinical practice. This is apparent more so in the use of Velcro wrapping devices and toe caps as an alternative to bandaging of the lower limb and toes. These are adjustable compression wraps that can be used in chronic edema, wound care and instead of bandaging or hosiery. There are many different names, so again, they can be called adjustable Velcro wrapping devices or wraps, and they've been previously used in lymphedema for many years. But now we are seeing them used more for treating leg ulcers and, as I say, as an alternative to bandages, but also as an alternative to hosiery. It is important to know that there are many Velcro wrapping devices on the market and they are not all the same. They are indicated where patients are unable to tolerate bandaging or unable to tolerate hosiery, or where patients will struggle to apply a compression device or a compression hosiery. They are adjustable in that they are completely open and close using hook and loop Velcro fasteners. They are all graduated, so they are all engineered to have 100% compression at the ankle, which graduates off and the pressure reduces as they go up the limb. This is where the similarities end. All are constructed differently and the application varies between each product. In terms of construction, some may be constructed as single woven textile bands, which are low profile, laminated woven bands, which are a little bit thicker, but these woven bands are attached to a spine, ensuring that each band has a 50% overlap. You have laminated foam fabric wrapping devices, which are one piece that sits over the calf and then is open at the front and applied either by interlocking the Velcro tabs on the front. So they interlock at the front. So you have those that interlock and those that are overlapping. All state that they are based on short stretch bandaging theory. However, those that overlap are based on bandaging theory in that they have a 50% overlap, with the bandwidth increasing depending on the size of the limb, which makes it take into account the theories of Laplace's law. They are based on short stretch in that much of the material that is used in the construction of these devices has a short stretch. It has a clear stretch and a clear lockout. The correct pressure is engineered to ensure the correct stretch. So you get the correct pressure with the correct stretch. Some will have useful cards that allow you to ensure you're getting a correct pressure, but the majority are engineered to ensure that stretch achieves the correct pressure. They are useful in that they are adjustable, so they can be tightened as a patient's limb reduces. They can also be tightened throughout the day as edema reduces, whereas if using a bandage, that bandage stays in place and becomes less effective over the time period that the patient wears that bandage. When used instead of bandages, they enable the patient to take control of their care, allowing for removal and application following skincare and dressing changes. So they are being seen more and more in clinical practice. And they're also used in conjunction with toe caps. Now, toe caps are becoming more widely used because of the reluctance of clinicians to apply effective toe bandaging. There is many articles and much evidence surrounding the fact that if a toe bandage is applied incorrectly, it can cause trauma to the toes. Also, toe bandaging can be time consuming and has to be done every day. So wearing a toe cap instead of a toe bandage reduces the need to see the patient daily. But again, we must be mindful that they are different. They vary in their material, varying whether they are sized or custom made. Some can be trimmed to fit, others can't. So you have to be clear on the toe cap you're using that you have the manufacturer's instructions. Be aware that some will have different compression levels as well. So it is important that we engage with industry so that we understand the uses of each device that each manufacturer has available on the market. And do remember that you have the correct wrap or toe cap for the correct indication, that you've got the correct application and the correct instructions for caring for that device. And also remember that industry clinicians, although employed by companies, still work within the scope of practice of their regulatory bodies. They are knowledgeable not only in the products that their company provides, but in high standard of education and support for clinicians. They are there to ensure that you get the right treatment for the right patient at the right time. Thank you.
So we're now going to look at Velcro wrapping devices. These wrapping devices can offer management and treatment for chronic edema. They can also offer management and treatment for wound care. They can be used to offer compression instead of compression bandaging, and they can also be used to offer compression in place of compression hosiery. There are various wrapping devices available on the market from various companies. All of them offer graduated compression. All of them are adjustable, but they do vary in their construction and application. So when fitting a Velcro device, it is always worth checking with the instructions from any given company to ensure that the application is being carried out correctly. So some are manufactured from single woven fabrics, some are manufactured from laminated woven fabrics. Some are engineered in a way that the level of compression that's achieved is achieved through applying the product at full stretch. Others have measures or gadgets that you can apply to ensure that the correct compression is achieved on application, and others have various marks and colours on the fabric to indicate where to fasten to in order to ensure that you've got the correct level of compression. All of the Velcro devices can be adjusted and tightened, and members can apply the Velcro devices themselves. They can adjust them very easily, therefore giving them control over the management of their limb. So once you've decided and made your choice of a given wrapping device, you can then look at which compression you would like to provide for that member. Most of the compression, the Velcro devices that are available do come in a variety of compression values. So it's worth looking to see, for example, if you would like a lighter compression or a stronger compression. Once you've decided on the compression value, then we can then look at measuring for the device. This is really straightforward, but again, each company may differ slightly, so it's always worth checking the measurement chart with each of the manufacturers. So if we're looking to provide a foot piece for the member, the key measurement point is to do a circumference of the midfoot. This is going to give you indicate the size required for that member. We'd also need a length measurement for the foot for this member to ensure the best fit. So when doing the length measurement for the foot, we would look to take a measurement from the heel along to the base of the toes. This will then determine whether you go for a short, regular or long foot, for example. Then we would look at the leg piece. So in order to measure for the leg piece, we would be looking at measuring at the ankle, which is your B measurement. This is the narrowest part of the ankle, so that would be your first measurement. And then you would take your C measurement, and your C measurement would sit at the widest part of the calf. Once you have these two measurements, that would indicate which size you would give for that member. And then we would look to get in the correct length once again. And for this, we would measure from B, so from the ankle, and we would take that up to D. And D actually sits at 2 finger width spaces below the knee. So that's going to be where you'll take your D length measurement, and we need to measure at the back of the leg, and it would need to follow the contours of the limb up through that measurement to give you your length measurement. So what we're also going to look at here, as well as looking at the wrapping device, are the toes, because sometimes the toes are forgotten or not included, and this can cause problems further down the line. So when we're looking at compression from the toes, one option is a toe cap or toe glove, and again there are various options for these available on the market, various companies, and these offer a very simple solution and an alternative to toe bandaging. To measure for a toe cap is incredibly simple. It is just one simple measurement around the ball of the foot. This actually indicates which size you would go for in your toe cap. Once you have this measurement, then you are able to choose which toe cap size you require, and the toe caps can be trimmed so that they fit the toes of the member. So we're now going to fit this gentleman with a toe cap and a wrapping device. We're going to start by measuring for the toe cap, by measuring around the ball of the foot. This will determine the size that we choose. Apply the toe cap very simply over the foot, popping the toes in and then trimming the toes. We're then going to fit a liner over the top of this. This liner is just really applied in order to provide a layer between the wrapping device and the skin. We can then look at putting the foot piece on and fit that to the heel. We fold back the Velcro pieces on this wrapping device. We then actually fit the heel into the cup of the foot piece, pull in the fabric to full extent to wrap around the foot in order to achieve full compression, or the compression required. There are two options here. We can either pull these two bands across the front of the foot in order to achieve compression over the dorsum, or if we choose, we could put them around the ankle to achieve further compression around the ankle. We can then look to applying the leg piece. Again, we folded back the Velcro tabs to make application easy. What we're going to do is start at the ankle, pulling at full stretch and wrapping that device around with and fastening with the Velcro. So once we've done the ankle band, we then work our way up through each band, up through the limb until we reach the knee.